guys, this is Sean from LuxuryLeatherRepair.com, and we're back today with another video. Today we're actually going to be showing you how to use our damage repair kit. So this kit is designed for cuts, holes, tears, extremely deep cracking, anything that you would consider damage and not necessarily a crack or a crease. So that's what we're going to be walking through. That's what this kit is designed to do. So what's included in the damage repair kit that comes with it when you receive it is, first off, as always with every kit or bundle, you are going to get our dynamic clean. That's our prepping material that we manufacture here. Works really, really well for light body oils, old cleaners, conditioners, things that may have an oil base that just don't need to be on your leather. You're also going to get leather bond, which is a glue. You're going to get our deep leather filler. You're going to get a pre-matched dye, and then you'll also get protection cream. Now this kit includes a few extra things. It does come with a piece of sub-patch paper that you're going to use as a backing for any hole or tear or cut that you may have. We do include a palette knife, so if you like to use that for the leather filler or the deep leather filler, that is there. And then of course we give you a sponge for applying the dye, gloves for protecting your hands, and then of course, as every kit gets, we get our free white microfiber towel. So let's go ahead and jump right into this kit and show you what we got going on. Alright, so what we're working on today is just a piece of leather that has got a big, nice split right in the middle. So with the kit that we've got here, we're going to come in, take care of this, repair it, and recolor it. Hopefully make it look not as good as new, but it'll certainly look much better than it does now. Step one, as always, is just your dynamic clean. Just going to spray it. Get your scuff pad, clean it. And wipe it dry. Alright guys, so for step two, what we're going to do now is, the purpose of what we're going to do is to be able to get this sub patch in on the back side of this leather, holding the two pieces together. So what we're looking to do is just cut this about a 1/2 inch to an inch bigger on all sides of the tear. So I'm just going to lay this out, measuring the length of the tear. Just going to come in and make myself a little clip. And then I'm just going to cut about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch into the paper, and then just cut straight down, just because it's a fairly thin slit that we're working with. So that's what we have that we're going to use as the backing. So now what we're looking to do is we want to get this sub patch paper into the leather and adhered to the back side. Now when you get the sub patch paper, you're going to see two sides. One has kind of a shiny side and the other one is not so shiny. Now the shiny side is an adhesive, so if you have a heat gun, a hairdryer will not work in this instance, but if you have a heat gun, you actually can heat that up and that will stick to the back side of the leather once you get it put in. Now most of us don't have a heat gun, so what we include is we include leather bond. So if you're going to use the leather bond to hold it in place, you really want to make sure you flip it over to the side that doesn't have the shine. It's more of a fabric feeling side, and all that's going to allow is just for the leather bond to soak into the fabric as well as soak into the porous side of the back side of the leather hide. So we're going to go ahead and start moving into this. Like I said, the key is to get this in through the leather. Now, fortunately for us today, this is just a piece of leather. So we're going to be able to flip it over, show you the back side of it, show you the front side of it, let you see what it looks like. But in most instances, this may be a cushion or this may be an armrest, something that is secured on the sides where you can't get to the inside of the leather. So we get calls all the time wanting to know, how do we get the leather sample in and in place when I don't have access to the back of the leather? So I'm going to show you. It's actually really, really easy. It's a really innovative tool. They're new to the world, but it's actually just a screw is what we're going to use. And basically what we're doing with this, guys, we're going to come in here and we're going to find about center to the hole to the actual piece of sub patch paper, and I'm just going to mark it. Now I'm going to actually just pick this up and just start to screw this through the piece of paper. Now listen, don't screw it in all the way to the top. You're not mad at the leather sample, you just want to hold on to it for a little bit. So we're going to back this guy out to where it's just holding right at the tip. But basically the threads are showing through the sub patch paper. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use that then at this point as a guide, as a reference. We now have this cut. We've got our sub patch paper in place. Really what we want to do is just kind of pull this to the side, and then you may have to work the leather. If your leather's up and off, you could just kind of poke it through, and then you're going to want to kind of get it in place. Well, you're not going to want to kind of get it in place. You are going to want to get it in place. So with what I have here going, I got a little pair of tweezers. I'm just going to turn it. Again, we're attached, so I'm just making sure that it's flat. The screw is holding the actual sub patch paper in place. So all we're trying to do is flatten this guy out to where we have it and it's smooth. Now from here it feels smooth. If we flip it over, it now looks smooth on the back side, and that's plenty good there. That's why we cut it a 1/2 inch or so bigger on all sides, just so we have a little bit of an overhang. But from here, I now have my sub patch paper in place where if I'm not in the middle, I can slide it this way, or I can actually use this screw to get it held in place. Once I have that, I'm then going to take the leather bond that's included in with the kit, and I'm just going to, while the screw's there, I'm just going to take this and squirt this back down into the void that we're filling, making sure we get some on the leather, making sure we get some on the sub patch paper, and then we've got some decent coverage. So once we have that there, watch this, guys, boom. Pull that screw out. The sub patch paper is still right where you want it to be in place. The glue's allowing it to hold. From here, you can do this with your finger, you can do it with a knife, whatever, but we're just going to come in and seal this tear into place with the glue. Alright guys, so we're back. We put our sub patch paper in place, we put our glue in, we used a hair dryer to dry that, and then we let it set just a little while just to make sure that glue was fully cured and the sub patch paper was held in place. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to start to fill the void from the two sides from where we had that tear. So we're just going to lay this guy out. We're going to go into our deep leather filler product, and we are going to just start to apply this into the void. Now the first layer that you put on, that is really, really important, because what we want to do is make sure we get the filler into the void and actually attach it to both sides. So we want it to grab and essentially pull in. This filler, as it cures and air dries, will shrink. So once we get it to grab and it pulls together, it's actually going to pull that tear to one solid piece, which then will come in and top with more filler and build out around the edges. But then from there, it's like doing a nail a hole in drywall. You build it up, you smooth it down, and then you paint it. And when an automotive leather is what you're working on, that's exactly what you're doing. So like I said, we're just going to take this deep leather filler. Again, the palette knife does come with the kit. Business cards actually work really, really well. One thing you'll notice about this when compared to our crack and crease filler is just the thickness and the consistency. It's just a lot thicker. It's a lot more. It has a lot more strength, so it's going to be able to hold up to that expansion and contraction of the leather as it's being used. So again, personally, I just like to use my finger. For me, it's all about feel. If you decide to do this, there are gloves in the kit. If this gets on your hands, the great thing about all of our products is they're water soluble. So as far as getting this stuff off of your fingers, there is no problem with that at all. It comes right off, and that's everything from the fillers to the glues to the dyes. So as we're putting in the second coat, and then once we get into the third coat, what you're going to now see is that you're getting to the surface. So you're going to want to start to kind of thin your filler out around to the outer edges. We've got everything just about filled. I'm actually going to do one more coat right over the surface before we start recoloring. I'm going to show you one really cool trick. This product is, again, it's water based, so it's water soluble. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a little bit of this product. I'm going to take another, just a jar or something we have. I'm going to wipe it on there, showing it there, and then I have water down in the bottom of this thing. So I'm going to start to mix a little of that water with a little of the filler. And anybody that's ever done drywall work, you know what happens when you get your plaster wet. It really allows you to slick it and kind of smooth it out. So by doing that, I'm now going to take that product that I just used and I'm going to work my way around the edges, kind of in the same fashion, but really just trying to pull that repair area out to the edges where it will then smooth itself out and look not flawless, but hopefully when we get there. So we're going to dab that out one more coat, dab it a little bit right over the edges, create a little more of that texture. And then from here, we do recommend that you let this filler set about 4 hours just to fully cure. Repair area is done. Don't put pressure on it. Don't push on it. Let all this stuff cure. And like I said, we'll see you back in a few hours. All right, guys, so here we are. We're back. Our filler has had time to air dry. You're going to notice how it's no longer that really clear white color. It's almost like a... almost actually blends with this particular leather color. But anyway, what you're looking at here is, like I said, that cut that we had, it is now sealed. Your sub patch paper, if we flip this guy over, it's in place. It's bonded very well to the leather, so it's providing that stability to the repair area. So from here, it just now becomes a color restoration. So we're going to take our, this is actually a Volkswagen corn silk color. This is our automotive leather dye that's matched to that particular shade. And I'm just going to take this guy, and again, I'm going to just start to apply the dye right over the repair area. Now again, remember, we blend out. Whenever we do a leather restoration, whenever we do a leather recolor, we always do it to a break in the leather. But what I'm going to start with is trying to recover my repair area first, as to not have to put all kinds of dye all over the leather when it's not necessary. So we'll start there. So we'll start here. Going to use a hair dryer to dry this down, and we're going to repeat that process until the repair area is covered. Alright guys, so this is our dye after 2 coats. You're going to see the filler, the repair area there in the middle. It's not quite gone, but it is starting to obviously get covered. So we're just going to come in, we're going to layer a couple more light coats over top of it, using a hair dryer to dry them down. Here we are. We have got the repair area filled. Again, sub patch paper is in place. We got a pretty good fill. I mean, as far as having the texture that kind of allows the repair area, which is right in here. If I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but it's right in this area. It really allows for it to flow out. Color blended nicely. Again, all this repair work and cuts and tears and creases and cracks and all that stuff, it's all easy to repair. Having the right product is the imperative part, which is what we're here for. But more than anything, it's having a color that matches. And that's 1,300 of them. We got something for you. So anyway, there's what it looks like. Alright guys, so piece of leather, cut, repaired, recolored, restored. You know, that's what we're here to do. Our damage repair kit includes all of those products that you're going to need. Like I said, the instructions are all there. Everything you need to get through what we just did is included in this kit. So, you know, if you like the video, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out. We got Facebook. We have Instagram. You can find us there. If you have any questions specifically about the video, or if there's a video you want to see, leave it in the comments section here and let us know how we're doing. So until next time, man, this is Sean from Luxury Leather Repair. Take care of yourselves. Thank you.